Oftentimes you're asked to share your spreadsheet or worksheet in Excel with others, and you've spent a lot of time creating some complex formulas and functions. When you share that with someone, you don't really want them to have access to start deleting that type of information. So there are different methods that you can use that will protect the worksheet, also protect the workbook. Now, and what the protection means is that you're protecting from other people editing it. Okay, so by default, all the cells in a worksheet are what are called locked, which means that anybody can edit them. What you want to do is, because they're all right now, they're all editable, but they're locked. If we just went and protected the entire worksheet, all the cells that are locked, no one could edit. So for example, if I just come here into this worksheet and I click the review tab and say protect the sheet, I could add a password. For this example, I'm not going to add any passwords, okay? And here's all the different protections I can do. Allow the users to select these kinds of cells. I could tell them uncheck all that. And they're not allowed, we don't want them allowed to do anything else. But if you wanted them to be allowed to format cells or insert columns or insert rows, you can check that. But by default, we're just allowing them to select locked and unlocked cells. So if I click OK, now this worksheet is protected. All the cells were locked. So if I come up here and I try to enter a new value, it tells me that I can't make any changes because that cell is protected. So let's go ahead and unprotect the sheet, because some parts of this worksheet I do want the user to be able to update. So we want the users to be able to insert the department and stock values for the items that are in inventory. So you highlight that range, and that's, from C5 to D29. All the values for department and stock value. What you want to do is you need to unlock these cells. So you go to your home ribbon and you click your Format tab, and you come down here and you can see that the lock is highlighted. Well, what we're going to do is click that, and now to unlock it. So now if I click in one of those cells and I come up to Format, you can see that this lock is not highlighted, which means it's unlocked. Whereas if I come over here to another cell that I didn't change and click Format, you can see that the lock button is highlighted. Okay? So now that I have two columns of cells that I allow the user to update, they are unlocked. Now I'll come over to my Review tab and protect the sheet. I'm going to allow them to select the two cells, but in an unlocked cell, they're also allowed to edit it. Now, if I wanted to password protect this, you can. I'm just going to type a PW for password and click OK. All right, and they ask you to enter it again. Make sure you type it correctly, so I'll just go PW and click OK again. All right, so now I can come here and into department, and I can make any updates. I can come over here to stock and I can update the stock value. But if I come over here to unit cost and I try to update this, it gives me an error message because those cells are locked and you cannot edit them. You can only edit the unlocked cells. All right, so that's protecting a worksheet. You unlock the cells you want someone to be able to edit, and then you protect the sheet. Now, you also have the option to protect a workbook. So let's say I'm going to come here to validation lists. This was my worksheet that I used to just create various lists. I don't really want anybody to see that. So I'm going to go ahead and right click and hide it. Okay, I'll come back to my inventory tab and come up to the top. All right, now I want to protect my workbook so that they can't manipulate my worksheets, unhide any worksheets, copy or move them. So again, all you need to do is go to Review and protect the workbook. I'm not going to give it a password. I'm protecting the structure of the workbook, and I'm going to go ahead and click OK. So now look, if I try to right-click on my worksheet tab, look, I can't insert a new worksheet. I can't delete an existing, rename, copy, move. I can't hide or unhide worksheets. So that is protecting the workbook versus the worksheets. And that's just an overview of how you can be protective of your data.